Part 3, Defining Your Price. Chapter 14, Know Yourself. In case you have reached this far in this read, you already know how I feel about trusting yourself. The point is, how can you truly know your worth so to be sure you are pricing your lessons properly? How can you see yourself realistically? I mean, seeing your true self, not too lowly, not too highly. First of all, let's consider your teaching experience. If you have been working for schools, you must have had some sort of training. You must have been observed in class as well as being offered feedback. You must have exchanged your practice with other teachers. Therefore, having improved your lessons year after year. This is your most valuable asset. The teacher you are today is the result of every learning process you have been through throughout your career. You may feel embarrassed when remembering a few mistakes you made when you started teaching. What I can tell you is, don't feel that way whatsoever. Be grateful for the journey, or else you wouldn't be reading this book to get you started on your new career moment. Every mistake is part of your journey, is part of your development. You have to believe in the work you can provide your students with, gathering every single experience you've had along your teaching career. Once I have read or heard somewhere that a teacher teaching the same lesson for 20 years is not equally qualified as a teacher teaching different lessons for the same period of time. I heard it around a decade ago, so unfortunately I can't recall where so as to offer the proper credits. However, the idea lies in the message here. Your journey is unique. Let's reflect on these questions. Have you sought development on your teaching journey? Have you attended seminars, workshops, lectures, and somewhat applied some of the concepts in class? Have you taken any teaching related courses? Have you read any books about teaching? Have you met fellow teachers to exchange class practices in order to learn what they are doing? Have you incorporated new practices in the past few years? Have you asked your students for feedback, trying to understand what is working in your classes and what can be improved? Feedback can be brought to you formally from a document or from simple conversations with your students. The important is the constant pursuit of development you have experienced so far. There is a high number of ways for you to identify how well you can consider your teaching development. Have you noticed I have not included on this list formal education? That is because, although I truly believe you can grow immensely from a graduate course and from academic development, it is not always the reality for a lot of people. Sadly, at least here in Brazil, not every university student is willing to study, learn, or develop. Some people are solely chasing a diploma. Besides, not every university course is good. The consequence is that, despite their academic degrees, there are a lot of unprepared professionals working as teachers. Conversely, there are a lot of excellent professionals who devote a lot of their time to their development by reading teaching books, taking courses, but can't afford a university degree. I do believe that having a university degree can offer you a rich linguistics background to be applied in classes. Does your college degree affect your quality as a language teacher? If your reflection leads to a positive answer, then one more point for you to consider yourself worthy of a good salary at the end of the month. What if you don't have this degree? Too many a time I have seen people worried about it, for they feel that if they do not have formal education, they should not be teaching. I beg to differ. Great teachers can learn from various sources, as we could see in the aforementioned reflection questions. Your development can come from different places. The more you focus on your learning process, the better you get. If part of your progress comes from formal degrees, excellent. If it does not, but it comes from other sources of studies, as well as proper dedication to your learning and development, your teaching background can be as rich as people who have a college degree. Why am I telling you this? Because each teacher's path is unique. A teacher cannot be judged by a diploma, even though diplomas must be extremely valued if they were taken seriously. What I can see in my freelance business, though, is that students who search for classes do not usually worry too much about our background education. They are more interested in what we can offer them in order to help them develop in their language development, which means that the more skilled we are to observe our students' needs in class to work on their development, the more prepared we are to serve our client well. A formal education is a wonderful plus alongside all other courses you have taken, books you have read, lectures you have attended, and other sources of development you have had throughout your teaching career. Another point to take into consideration is the market you are landing. Learn about the area you're going to work in. It is good to have an overview of the practiced prices in the niche you have chosen to work with. If you have close friends in this market, you can talk more deeply to them to understand the core of their practice prices, how they have reached these numbers, and so on. When you begin your business, you will feel more and more the importance of having a support network. A freelance business will run much more smoothly when you don't feel the need of doing everything on your own. Exchanges with others must be an important part of your new career. Don't take networking for granted. Finally, in case you are beginning your teaching career without much experience or education background, you must be wondering if you are making the right decision on flying solo from the get-go, right? My view is that, despite the difficulties, I still believe it is possible. In this case, I highly recommend you invest in yourself by hiring a qualified mentor to guide you in the process. They will be able to offer you class observations, recommend books to read, and discuss class practices. I started working on my own at a very early age, and so can you. But I had quite a hard time in my first years, made a lot of beginner's mistakes because I had little guidance in the process. Nowadays, knowledge and support are much more accessible. Online development as well as support can be easily found anywhere on this planet. Invest in yourself because you must value yourself in the first place. Your development depends on you. If you're beginning your teaching career now, your price might not easily reach as high as experienced teachers. You will not have enough former students to whom you can offer your lessons, nor will there be many people who know your work so as to refer you to others. However, you still have your studies and your development to take into account. Not to mention that the most memorable teachers are the ones who are willing to learn and do their best for their students. If you are motivated enough, you will always find ways to teach great classes, and your students will feel this passion in you. Not because you are beginning your career should you not teach incredible classes. So because of that, even when beginning, your price should not be too low. Would you value a professional who does not value themselves? Your students should feel the same.